Hey, howdy everyone, Tony here. I hope you're doing well. Today I will be utilizing the TDU method of analysis to look for potential setups in the charts. Let's see what we can find. First, if you want to learn more about the TDU method, check out the site. If this video is helpful or you learned something new, please like and subscribe to stay updated with my analysis. Now let's dive into it. How's it going, traders? Let's get into it. So looking at Bitcoin here, last time we were looking at these levels and watching them for reaction, seeing how far down this step ladder we could go. Right now, I think we have a pretty good case for having an impulsive move down, correction up, and then we're working on another impulsive move down. Now, that not saying that this is the only option here. These aren't super ideal structures, so you can see a lot of going back and forth. So it's always good to keep an open mind. We're looking for bias as far as direction goes, so we're going to have to use the pivots and what we see in the PA to help us as clues for what we're looking for to happen in the future. So right now, I'm leaning a little bit more toward another impulsive move down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that'd be a nice clean look, something we can work off of. Again, not a super ideal structure, so it is a little bit open for interpretation. We haven't even reached, but I think because we have this little nub here, I think this is a little bit big as far as degree size goes for this. So I think this move down is done at some point. So what does that mean here? Could mean a couple things. It met the minimum standard for a wave 3. Typically, wave 3s are going to hit a most likely target of the 1618. And we still have a ways down to go for that. So this could be some degree issue here. We could be done here and truncate here. We have hit the 100K mark, which is not something that should be ignored. It's a nice round psychological number. If we break down, I think this is going to be the key area where we look for like a sweep or something like that to wash out everyone that's got their stop loss at 100K where they can't handle it anymore, which makes sense. Right now, everyone that bought up here, I'm sure their stop losses were down in this area right here, just as a psychological stop, not necessarily a price action stop, because we do have some conflicting ideas as to what this really is. We are getting down in the 50 and the 618 also, which is a good look here. So if we do finish some impulsive move down, correction, and another impulsive move down, this is a larger degree correction. Of course, this is a nice, good area to kind of look. The move up isn't super ideal either. So again, interpretation. But I think what we have to start considering here is where do we want to take our next trade, or if we looking at this from an investment point of view, again, 125, we've already come down 25K, which is pretty huge. I think we are coming into an area of interest here for both traders and investors. We have a nice corrective looking move here in the PA, coming to an area of interest at the higher degree. And we could see a nice sweep here again of the 100K just to wipe out all those people that want to get out in this area, or 100K. If we do end up breaking back up here at 106, I think that throws a wrench in it a little bit. Of course, higher up the better. But as far as the trading side and confident investment strategies, looking for an area of interest and some clarity before we get a move and can decide on which direction we think this is going, or get our bias nailed down. So again, going back, I think I went into the weeds here a little bit, but going back to what could happen here, because we haven't quite hit the most likely target for a wave 3, I think we have two possibilities. Either this move here is done, and I'll go into the different configurations as far as count goes after this, or this is going to be a little bit of a longer extended wave, since this is a 1-to-1 area in here for the difference between the 1 and the potential 3 here. Typically, if you have 1 and 3 in the same length as far as the fibs go, the fifth wave has a possibility to extend. So for worst case scenario, I think for this, we do end up coming down here, we're going to be looking for a lot further down. If the wave 5 is going to extend, it's going to be going way down here. So I think ideally we don't want to see that to happen. I think we want to see price action slow down here before we get a turn, to get a little bit more confidence that things are starting to look like it's going to the upside. One other thing I'll look at here real quick is the slope of this. typically in wave A's, you're going to get a nice quick slope, and then the wave C is going to be a little bit less, showing that bear's momentum is slowing down. So if we can get a nice slowdown here of the price action instead of going straight down like we've been seeing, that can add to our confluence that, okay, bears are starting to slow down, bulls are starting to consider entries here. Just looking at how the PA is moving down to the downside. So right now, we have this wave A potentially at a 72-degree slope, and so far we're looking good. So this would be 72 right here. So if we finish anywhere over here, it's looking like we're slowing down a little bit. Again, it's just another piece of the puzzle, not the whole picture using slope, but this is another way to show or add the confluence that we're going to see a potential pivot somewhere in this area. Is a nice slowdown in PA. Again, wave threes are going to be nice and sharp. Wave C's are going to be a little bit lazier and move with a little less and momentum. So I just wanted to touch on these levels again. I'll move this up. So far, we've been reacting pretty good to these levels. 108, not so much, but you can still see back here that it's played in the past as support, and then we couldn't really stay above it last time. 115 is going to be the big level we have to beat, improve, and 100 here has been playing great. So again, down here, I think we have a nice confluent area. If we do get a nice move down here, this would be an aggressive entry area here, as we know, because of this move down 1, 2, 3 being the same approximate length. Either we're slowing down or we're setting up for a wave 5 extension here. So entering in this area is a little sus. Again, since it's the more aggressive entry, you're really looking for the pivot here. So one thing we're going to be looking for is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 5, and then at least a break of that. So let me put this into perspective here. So if we do end up finishing here or doing something like this, we get a nice move down here further into our AOI. First thing we're looking for is a break of this level here, the wave 4 of the wave 5, to let us know that there's a potential that it's starting to move and that this impulsive move down has completed at this degree. So this would be the smallest degree entry, the most aggressive entry, the one with the least amount of risk to it. But we can always wait again until we break this larger degree and work our way back up as far as confidence goes for the direction change. So again, aggressive entry down here, and then this is be the more conservative entry. If we do move down here, we get a break of the wave 4 extreme or the orthodox end of the wave 4, and then we can start looking for a corrective move down. If this thing just rips, I mean, it is what it is, but we're really looking for a nice confluent entry, which would consist of us breaking this level, having a nice internal retracement here, and then moving up from there. So this is what we're looking for here, something to that effect, okay? Again, nothing comes out super clean and super ideal all the time, so we got to be a little bit lenient on what we see here. It depends on who you are, it depends on your strat, but again, minimum I'd like to see is a nice move down here, sweep of this area 100, and then a bounce back up. And I think that would be the strongest move that we can see here, and a conviction and confidence in a potential direction change, at least for the short term. Again, because of this move, we would have a nice impulsive move down. Two things happen when we come up to impulses or have an impulse complete. Either we're going to get an internal retracement or the whole thing's going to retrace. So in either case, again, we're looking for the C3 setup here. So if we get a break of this, we might just be coming back to 108 for an internal retracement and we get further down. That's something we have to consider for later on if we're trading this investment. If we have long-term investments, that's going to be huge. If we do bounce from this area, how that's going to look, and if this is going to be a corrective move for a potential of more down, or if this is it and we're heading back up. But that's not what we care for if we're trading this. Right now, we're looking for an entry to get at least a little short-term gain here. And I think this is the first step right here, is completed impulse down. We get a nice reaction, hopefully on some momentum loss here. So right now, we're about to cross over the 0 line here in the EWO. So if we get a nice correction over the EWO here and do something like this over the weekend or whatever, and then we get some nice divergence here on the EWO and on our momentum indicators, I think this would add to the confluence as well. So again, over the next couple days, I think this is going to be pretty huge right here. We can stay inside this range this wave 4 potential range here and head down, I think we have a nice good anchor point here to look for an entry for a long, at least for the short term. And if we start rocking it up, great. If we start looking corrective, I think we have to start considering things on the investment side. You don't have to all in, all out every time. You could take some profit here if you're scared. If you're scared, if we end up going further down from here, if this was a painful move down right here, obviously going further down is going to be more painful. But I think if this is some zigzag move down or sharp correction move down, and this is the end, again, this could just be the subwave of something even larger and we're going sideways forever. I think we're coming into an area of interest for sure. Again, nothing's still given. Shouldn't have said for sure, but right now I think this has a good look and considerations should be made for a potential long in this area. Waiting can be, you don't have to do anything in this area. I'm not telling you have to do anything, but we have to consider like where do you think a nice confident trade would begin for you? Is it going to be at the more aggressive levels down here? Are you going to try and catch the 5 of 5 before it even pivots? Are you going to wait for this to break? Are you going to wait for this to break? You have to plan this stuff out ahead of time. So when you're in the moment, you sign on and you see prices down here, you're not just jumping in because you see what's going on and you're hoping. Again, 92, I think, is a good area. We have a lot of spikes through, but it's going to be in this general area where it wouldn't break down before. And then it flipped to resistance here. Then we flipped it back to support here. So again, a nice bunch of stuff here that we can look at and add to this AOI box as far as confluence goes. So definitely going to be watching this area between 92 and 99. It's a big range, no doubt. If this starts coming down, we can start going down further and further degrees to figure out where we are in the count and what we're looking for a change of trend. So this is the main setup I'm watching right now. I do have backup plans as always. 100 mark is hard to say. Everyone's like, it's never breaking down beneath 100K again. Well, as you can see, never say never here. So if this does play out, again, I think this is a great spot to start looking and considering a potential entry. And we should all be planning, if we're so inclined, to look for a potential pivot from this location. And this would be one of the more bullish counts at this time. All right, one thing I wanted to go over is the possibilities of other counts here for the more bullish or bearish side. So the initial idea is that it's a zigzag down, some sharp move down here. So I think we can just start off with the most bullish and work our way down. And I'll try and keep it as quick as possible here. So the first idea is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Corrective move up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that could be the end of it. That could be the end of a correction move, subwave, larger degree, whatever you want. But we have to consider here, we have an impulsive move down, an internal correction to the 50, and then we have another impulsive move down. This doesn't mean that it's the end. If we do end up getting a impulsive move down, maybe this is just 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're moving further down. Or this could be A, B, C, X, A, B, C. So just because this completes as an impulsive move down doesn't mean that this overall count is a complete one. So we always have to be careful, and we can look for clues, again, in the slope and all that, how complex the wave is, all that stuff. After this completes, to see where we're at. If we consider, if we're super bearish, then we're going to think this is the second one too, and we're headed down to Doomtown. Okay. Again, that is a possibility. Another thing we can consider too is that this is some diagonal move down, even with the completed impulsive move here. We could be putting in some larger degree diagonal, just as long as we fit it within the rules and guidelines here. That still is a possibility. So there's a lot of possibilities left, even if we do finish as an impulse. There's a lot of different counts that we can all consider. And it's going to be after that impulse is complete, how that move up is. So if we go over that, we have a possible diagonal down. If this completes as an impulse, we have a possible 1, 2, 1, 2. We're heading down to Doomtown. We have a completed zigzag that's part of a subwave of a bigger correction, and we're going to go sideways forever. Or this is it, and then we're headed back up to new all-time highs in an impulsive manner. A lot can still happen, but again, it's all going to reflect on how this thing and when this thing finishes down here. So I think there's a lot of confluence and count to look for a potential pivot here, if you're bullish or if you think we're ready for a turn. So again, consideration should be made if we complete as a nice impulsive move down. The only other way I can really see to count this, again, not super ideal, we would have some corrective move down here, and then a move up, and then this is complete. So this would be a WXY double zigzag setup. Right now, 106 is the level we have to watch. This pivot has to hold for us to keep this as a potential WXY complete. If that is complete, we would get a nice move up from here. Again, this could be the end of it at 100K, which is a possibility. It's a nice round number. Everyone's watching it. Everyone that was short or everyone that was long from up here probably had their, at least some of their stop loss down in this area, I would suspect. So this could be a nice bounce point here. We'll have to see how the weekend goes. But if we end up going from here and breaking up, again, that doesn't exactly mean that we're done and we're heading up to all-time highs. That is a possibility, obviously. But breaking this level would negate this as a potential impulsive move down, in my opinion. 1, 2, 3, and then we truncate. We have a nice truncation here. I guess we could say that it's just too strong here. Everyone wants to buy in at this point on 100K, and that we're moving up. So this truncated, but for me, I like to have the wave 2 be smaller than the wave 4. So if we did it that way, I don't think we have enough time to offset between the wave 2 and the wave 4 as far as time goes. Typically, I want to see between 1 and 4 times the wave 2 in the wave 4, and this little move here up doesn't feel like the time has matured enough. So, but 100K could be powerful enough where it starts sending us up, and that's something to consider. What we're looking for here, if you want to be super aggro and super degen, you can always try and get an entry in here and try and catch the 100K bounce if it happens. I don't think that's the most horrible idea. Taking a bite down here would help you get in on the move, and then you could always add later. That's something you're going to have to consider. That's not financial advice by any means. But that's the most degen entry here. If you keep trying to catch the bottom, this would be one. And then after we further down, as we start falling down, would be a place to consider planning for your entry. Again, that'd be a little bit more on the aggro side here if you start entering in this area just because of where we are in the count. But if you have high convictions and you think we're going to turn from here, we're coming into the 50 for this little move here. So it's not the worst idea, but I think waiting is going to be a little bit more conservative side. I think waiting is the ideal setup here. So if we do finish here, again, that doesn't mean that this pattern is complete. Could just be doing another diagonal with this as a 3-wave move. And we're looking for one more leg down at least as well. We'll have to keep an eye on our distances here and make sure that we don't end up breaking our rules and guidelines for a diagonal. But for right now, that's still on the table. So there's a lot of stuff that's still on the table at this point as far as the bigger degree goes. And we have to consider where we want to enter. So I think right now, the main things we want to look for is either a break of 106 is on the conservative side. If you're an aggro, we talked about it. You're going to start looking for an entry in here. And you think 100K is going to hold, I should say. Looking in here is going to be the most aggressive move here, and you might get stopped out. Otherwise, on the conservative end, I'm waiting for 106 to break. And then if it does break, I'm going to be watching how it breaks. Are we coming up correctively? And then we're just going to bounce down, or do we blast up? And then I'll be looking for some wave 4 for continuation. And then we can start looking for a directional change and start looking for a move up. Otherwise, I'm going to be watching this range here over the weekend to see how we play it. It's going to be a corrective pattern. Are we going to stay within this range? Is it going to be a corrective pattern within this range or near this range, and then we get a sweep down? That's the main thing I'm watching here, is the move down and break of 98. And hopefully, ideally, looking for just a quick stick down, stop everybody out, get everyone in new entries. And then we come back up in an impulsive manner, ideally break this level, and then start looking for a correction down for a continuation up. So that would be my ideal conservative bullish entry and setup, is a move past 100, reclaim, correction, continuation. So that's basically what I'm looking for now. I had an idea back up here that we're going to potentially get a move down. It's played out pretty good so far. Now we just have to see it complete and get some nice clarity as far as an ending point here before we get the move up. And breaking this level here kills it as being a potential impulse to move down. Breaking down here with one more little sweep down adds more confidence that the impulse has completed. We can start looking for at least an internal retracement or short-term upside and a potential profitable trade. Last thing I want to look at here is ES real quick for Bitcoin, and then I might do some alts later if I have some time. But right now, we have some similar things going on in ES. We have a topping pattern here where we have a swift move up, and then we have a swift move back down. Again, this could be a couple things, nothing super ideal where I can say this is for sure it. But we do have something where we could be like flat, zigzag, some sharp move up, and then we're going to have another zigzag or sharp move down. Not 100% on there, but right now we do have some topping here. So we should be looking out for a potential head and shoulders potentially here. We haven't come back and tested. We broke through here. So at the open on Monday or Sunday even, we start coming into this area here. Let me just mark it off real quick. So 6,800, we have to start considering that these areas could play as a bit of resistance here on the ES. So the happier ES is, the happier Bitcoin's going to be. They're not tied directly together, but as far as the overall market goes, we want confidence in the stocks to bring up our confidence in which direction BTC is going to go or stay. So ES up typically means BTC up or sideways, and that's what we want. We don't want a quick, swift move down. On the smaller degree in the Discord, we pointed out that this was a zigzag move up, and we should be looking for a potential impulsive move down. That played out beautifully here. I think we do have a nice impulsive move down, even though we don't get the alternation between the 2 and the 4. I think these are both potential flats. We got the move down, and this is what we want to look for. This was what might happen as far as extension goes in Bitcoin. This has more a traditional setup where we got way past the one to one of 1 and 3. So this could be a double extension here in ES. And the pattern here fits that as well. So, or both these patterns fit. Having them as flats fits the idea that we're going to get a swift move down. And at the end of Friday, after lunch, everyone came back and started buying. So having this on a Friday is a little sus. But having a swift move up that matches the swift move down is one of the indicators we want to look for a potential pivot or change in direction and momentum. Again, this thing could just keep ripping. I don't know. Weekends are always some news can drop, something crazy happens over the weekend, and we get some weird fluctuations. And then Monday morning comes and things right itself. But for right now, if we're just looking at PA, don't consider any of that. Again, we have a nice move down and a swift move up that matches that move down almost. So right now, the consideration, I'll go down to the 15-minute here. Looks like we have a nice completed impulse move up. So after we've seen impulsive move up, I could see a sweep of this level, possibly a gap up, but potential sweep of this level. And then I'm going to be looking for an internal retracement between this impulsive range. I think Bitcoin, to match Bitcoin up to this, if we do get an internal retracement, if Bitcoin is correlated more on the bearish side, I could see that bringing Bitcoin past its low, and then everything lining up where, okay, this made its internal retracement, we're going to head up. That one broke its low, and it's going to start heading up as well. So I think things are lining up if this does happen. We get a nice pop of this little area level here. We get an internal retracement. Even if we don't pop this, we get a nice internal retracement. And then we look for continuation up on ES. And then hopefully BTC will match that directional pivot and change. So that's what I'm watching on both ES and using ES as a correlating asset to BTC for a continuation to the upside. Unlike BTC, I don't see how this could be. I guess you could say this is A, B, C, and then it's going to further down, but I think this is stretching that's definitely 2 times that. So that's stretching the typical thing you're looking for in a flat. Typically, you don't want the wave B to go farther than 2.2 times the wave A. Let me just put that on. So yeah, we're past that at this point. But we're still kind of in the area. I mean, if this does end up retracing fully, then that's going to have to be the count at that point. But right now, we're looking at most likely targets and what most likely will happen in a flat pattern, an Elliott wave. This impulse looks more like the start of something new than the finisher of something before we get a move down. So again, huge things. I think there's some indications that we might be getting a turnaround here, at least for the short term, pending any black swan, Trump tweet, whatever. I think we am planning for a potential move to the upside is warranted at this time. But that's just my thoughts at the moment. Again, PA can switch everything around in an instant. So if you have any questions, concerns, definitely let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Trade safe, trade clarity. Take it easy.